Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Please ensure to like, share, and subscribe. And also click the bell notification in the top right-hand corner to be made aware anytime I upload tutorials or videos to YouTube. All right, let's craft together. Hey guys, already done with Christmas, ready for Valentine's. I was about to say Thanksgiving. Anywho, I'm going to be making a set of coasters using these images that I created in ChatGPT and DALL-E3. And I enhanced them a bit here inside of Canva Pro. And so now I'm going to go ahead and take them over to Cricut Design Space and get them printed out. So without further ado, I'm going to save this and then I'm going to go ahead and share it. Click on download. I don't want it transparent and I want all 4 images. So I'm just going to click on download for the file type of PNG. And we're going to get that going. Now, once I get these images downloaded, I'm going to go over to my IMG upscaler and I'm going to upload those images. So we're going to extract here. One of the things I like about IMG Upscaler is that you can upload 5 images at a time. So you don't have to do one by one by one by one. You can see I've been busy on Valentine's. And we're going to go ahead and upload all of these into IMG. And we're going to come here and we're going to start all of them. And then once these are done, then we will go in and we will download all of them and then we'll upload them into Cricut Design Space. So right now what I'm doing is upscaling these images. You never want to use the images directly out of ChatGPT without upscaling them, unless you're just using them for personal reasons and you just don't really care. All right, so we're going to download these now. You can see how quick that was for them to be upscaled, and now they are downloading. When you download or start all at the same time, it's going to package them into a file that has to be extracted. And so when we go over to Cricut Design Space, we'll extract and then we'll upload them into Cricut Design Space. All right, here we are inside of Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to go over to the left side and click on Upload and Upload Image, Browse, and we're going to get that extracted file, which is here, and we're going to go ahead and click on Extract All, and we'll just have it to show up in this same folder. So we're going to look for the folder that now has that name, which is here. And we're going to go ahead and, excuse me, we're going to select our files. So that's one. And we're going to upload it. This is going to be a print and cut. And we're going to go and grab the others. And I always select complex. And apply and continue. There's nothing to remove. And another print then cut. And we're almost there. Right, and one more. and we will have all four. Now, one of my coasters broke, but that's okay. I'm going to try to manage the best I can. It's the about the third time I've purchased coasters from Michael's and didn't realize that one of the coasters were broken inside. So the first two times it was the coaster on the very front. This time it was the coaster on the very back end, so I didn't notice it. So I'm not going to take them back. I'm just going to go ahead and make the best of it. Then I'll just glue it together. But these are for me. So I'm going to hide each one of these except for the one I'm working with. All right. So I'm going to change the sizing to 3.76 because they're 3.75. I want to make sure I have enough coverage so that I don't have any white parts sticking out. Whoopsiedy, whoopsiedy. Didn't mean to do that. All right. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and place that image there. And um, we're going to go ahead and we're going to select our next image. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to click on the lock proportions one time and change it to 3.76 for the height and width. And we'll go ahead and place that there. Excuse me. And we'll go ahead and take our next one. Lock proportions, we're unlocking it. And we're going to go 3.76 by 3.76. So that is number 3. And then we're going to grab the last one. And again, we're going to unlock the proportions and go 3.76 by 3.76. All righty, 3.76. And voila. There we go. All right, so we have our 4 images for our coasters, and we have a little variety in each one of them. They're all styled a little bit differently. The ladies are all styled a little bit differently with their red dresses. And so, with that, we have our 4 coasters. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this as my Valentine coasters. And I'm just going to say Valentine Coasters 1 because I'm pretty sure it won't be the only coasters that I'll have. So I'm going to create a new collection here and just call it Coasters and create. Okay, so now I can click on Save. And I've now saved this design or these 4 coasters into a file of its own so I can always refer back to it whenever I need to without starting over. If someone says, I like that set that you just created, then I'll be able to come here and just go ahead and print them out. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to highlight all of them and we're going to click on attach. And what that's going to do is turn it into a print then cut. All right, so Cricut is going to send these over to the printer that we designate, which is going to be my sublimation printer, which is the Epson Workforce 7720. And then I'm going to go ahead and trim them down and place them onto my coasters. Now, we do want to make sure we mirror the image. So we're going to click on Make here in the top right corner. And I'm going to see if I can get this. Yeah, the smallest it's going to let me do is 11 by 17. So I'm going to have to use my tabloid paper for this. It's not going to let me use anything smaller. So we're going to mirror our image because you always want to make sure you mirror when you're doing these coasters. If you don't, then your any words or anything is going to be backwards and you're not going to be able to fix that. And you always want to make sure that when you click on mirror that the radio dial is over to the far right, because sometimes you'll click it and you may not have clicked it, or Cricut didn't think you clicked it. And if you're not looking, you'll print these out and they'll not be mirrored. Okay. So we're going to click on continue, and I'm going to be again using my Epson printer on tabloid, which is 11 by 17-inch paper. I'm going to press these coasters. I'm going to see what not Hobby Lobby, Michael recommends, and then I'll make my determination on what I want to use. Let me make sure my Cricut Maker is connected. Hold on, let's see if it'll still send it to the printer. Maybe not, but we'll see. We're going to use the Epson 7720. We don't want any bleed. We're going to use the system dialog. Print. And we want to take it over to the Epson 7720. We're going to use the main tray color, advanced. We're going to use tabloid, which is the 11 by 17 color, high quality. All that looks good. I'm going to go back here. Oh, let me make sure it's on best. Scaling, high quality, print, color mode. Okay. Portrait. Okay. And we're going to go ahead. I'm going to click on print and see if it prints. If not, I'm going to go ahead and connect my Cricut Maker. I'm not going to be using the Cricut Maker to do anything. I'm going to hand cut these manually. So give me one moment here. All right, guys. So I have my ace up paper and I have my coasters. I had to go out to the car to get them. So I was going to take them back. But you can see they're cracked, that last one. And I thought it was just right there, but it actually goes through to the side. So it's that corner. But I'm going to go ahead and use them. And I'm just not going to buy from Michael's anymore when it comes to coasters because they're always broken. And I thought it was just when I saw the first one wasn't cracked, I was like, okay, this is a good one. Didn't tell me. I didn't think to look at all of them. Wish that was stupid me, right? Oh, shoot, I'm tearing the part that tells me what's the temperature for these things. So give me 1 second to get them open. All right. So there's a little broken piece right there. So they need to keep these things up at the register, and that way they can take control or keep better eye on them not being broken by people. So I think people pick them up, drop them in the store, and then just put them back on the shelf. So that would be my train of thought. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and load you got your little cork type bottoms. So you have 4 of those. And I think the glue, I don't know if the glue will hold up with the heat press, but I'm going to try it. So I'll put this at the bottom. So at least it looks like it's, a whole piece. So let me get some glue. Hold on. All right, guys, I got some E6000 here. Probably going to have to get it to work with me. Got my little weeding tool to help get it going. I'll put my glasses down and I can't see. Seeing close up is an issue. Seeing far away is beautiful. Let me see if I can use these. Oh God, that is too strong. That medication in the glasses. Oh baby. All right, hold on. Let's see if I can get this to break through this little thing here. Hear my heat press over there like, come on, girl. All right, let's see if we got it now. It's trying to come. There we go. Got all on my hands. All right, so trying to glue this little part that broke off. I feel like this E6000 will hold up under the press. So if I can get it on here, it keeps starting, but then it looked like it's not coming out. There we go. Ooh, the struggle is real. All right, so I'm gonna put some on that other little side. I should have Googled E6000. The struggle is real. All right, so let's put this on. And oops, see if we can get it to stick. And if we can, that'll be really beautiful. All right, so it may come undone under the heat press, but we're gonna let this one sit for a minute. I may give it a chance to stick, but I want to put this one, I want to put the image where this will be the bottom. So I'm gonna set this one over to the side. So got our paper. I'm gonna go ahead and get my 11 by 17 loaded up. You want to make sure it's on the A sub logo is facing you. So I gotta adjust it because the last time I used it, I was using my 13 by 19 sizing. So we got our 11 by 17 in. And I'm going to go back over to Cricut and click on print. Give me 1 second. All right, y'all, I found my glasses, found my tape. And the way my craft shelf is made, sometimes stuff will fall towards the back. And that's where this little box was sitting, towards the back. It hadn't fallen through, but it was just hanging there. Because I'm like, I know I had that tape on that shelf. I know I did. And I did. All right. I'm calm now. Don't want to cut my finger, child, on this here tape. All right, there we go. Now we're cooking with gas. The last time I was using this, it was rolling funny, and I'm like, why is it doing that? It was because it was on the last little strand of tape. There we go. All right, now we're cooking with gas. I feel better. All right, so I'm gonna take some alcohol and a little cotton swab. And I'm going to wipe down these coasters because I have touched them everywhere. Wow. And you want to make sure that your coasters are free of debris. And let them just air dry. And do be careful with them because we already know apparently they crack easily if you drop them. Because, like I said, the last couple of ones that I bought were broken. All right, this is the broken one. And make sure I get that corner good. I hope this thing don't crack in the under the heat press. Okay, now put our alcohol up, and we're going to get to taping here. I did say I was going to look on the packaging of the Michaels packaging to see what they recommend. So let's do that before I forget. All right, so they say to transfer the image, preheat press to 356, which is 180 Celsius, and press for 120 seconds. So 2 minutes, which sounds about right. Using light to medium pressure, do not exceed 400 degrees. All right, so I'm gonna have to take mine down a little bit because I think I got mine at 10 degrees higher than that. So I will adjust it. All right, so you're going to take your coaster and you're going to place your image face down. I always like to turn mine over to make sure that I got, and you're putting it on the glossy side, not the matte side or the dull side. You want to make sure it's on the glossy side. And then we're going to go ahead and tape it down. Now, normally I would say don't tape it all over. But when I say that, I always end up with ghosting. Oh, that's the top of his head. And we don't want to mess that part up. So we do want the top of your head in the image, I mean, on the coaster. So let me make sure I adjust that. But normally when I don't do that, I end up with some ghosting. So I'm going to err on the side of just go ahead and put a little piece of tape on each end just to ensure that no air escape. Because if it does, you're going to have some ghosting on your coaster. So we got that one done. We're going to take our next one and again, flip it over just to make sure that you got everything in there. And that's the only way you're going to be able to tell because you can't see through these. All right, that looks good. And again, one little piece of tape on each side. All four sides, put a little piece of tape just to prevent ghosting. And that's our second one. I'm going to do our third one. And it doesn't matter what side they end up like, because you can always, just turn these around and you'll still be good. I want to make sure I got their legs and everything in there. Perfect. I got a little bit of white on the corner. I don't want any white just hanging around saying hello. Mm-mm. So I hope you guys are having a very Merry Christmas. I'm in Dallas, Texas, so I'm not with my family. And that's why I'm crafting on Christmas. Valentine's. Now, normally my grandkids would have called me by now, but they haven't. So I'm going to assume that they are waiting on the girls to come from their dad's house. so that they can all open their gifts at the same time. All right, one more, which is the broken one. So this one, I'm going to make sure that the bottom part is where that crack is at the bottom, so it doesn't interfere with the top part of my image. There we go. And then once we put that cork on the bottom, that corking bottom will be good because hopefully it won't be able to crack after that. All right, so we're going to do all of these at the same time. We're going to put all of these under the press at the same time. So we got all 4 done, and now we're going to go to the heat press and we're going to press them, and they're going to turn out beautiful. If you're new to sublimation, your images always look dull on the paper. The colors don't become vibrant until you apply heat. Once we apply heat, oh, it's going to be so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go over to the heat press, and we're going to go ahead and press everything. Got something on my shirt, something white. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and go to the heat press, and we're gonna get this stuff printed. Pressed. All right, guys, here we are at the heat press. We have it set at 180 Celsius for 120 seconds. And like I said, we're gonna press all of them at the same time. I just want to make sure I don't have any issues with my air escaping. All right. I think we are good. So I'm going to come back when we're about 5 seconds. Oh, God. I'm going to have to loosen it up a little bit. Let's see if that's loosen. Nope, that's tighten. There we go. All right, 5 seconds, and then I'll come back and actually I'll come back and then we're gonna let them cool down, and then we'll do the reveal together. All right, guys, we are about 5 seconds out. I'm gonna get my glove on. All right. You always know you have a good sub when you can start to see the ink bleed through. And I'm going to take a looky hickey here. Let's see what it looks like. I really think I could go a little bit longer. I want to go a little bit longer on these because it doesn't look like it's as vibrant as I want it. So I'm going to go about another 60 seconds. All right, guys, we're almost done here. And we're going to go ahead and cut this baby off. We're going to let these cool down, and then we're going to take a look and see what we got. But you should always know when you have a good sub, because the ink will start to bleed. It'll start to bleed through. Okay, so I'm gonna let these cool down, and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna do the reveal together. All right, guys, we are going to go ahead and attempt to see if our coasters are touchable. All right, looks good so far. We're just gonna cut where the tape is. They're still a little bit warm. All right, looks beautiful. All right, so this is our first one. Okay, and so it says Cupid on his little sash that goes across his chest. So that's number one.
Let's take a look at our next one. And I'll get the tape off the backs here in a minute. Oh, this one is so pretty. All right, it's number 2. Okay. And actually, I'm going to put them in my coaster holder. So I'm going to put them like that. And like that. All right, let's do number 3. We saved the best for last, which is the one that's broken. Alrighty. There we have it. So number 3. And we got the last one, which is the broken one. And it seems to still be holding up. And sometimes people ask, can you reuse the images that's here, this paper? No, you cannot. Because all of your ink is basically gone. So it would be very, very light and possibly not show up, and you would just be wasting, you know, your coasters because you're going to mess up your set. And so this is the broke one. I'm going to hold it like that. That's the 4th one, and you can't really tell that it's broken, but it is. So I'm going to put the broken one in the back. Put that one in the front. Broken one goes in the back. And now we have our complete set there. Forgot we got to put our quart bottoms on. So you put these on. They're going to have a little sticky side on the back. And we're just going to roll it down like that. Flip that baby over. And place it down. All right. One. Let's do our second one. I gotta learn how to count. This is the one with the tape. I didn't get all the tape off of. Alright, so we're going to flip it over. We're going to start putting that cork on like that, and then we're just going to roll it down. Alright, let's get one of our others. And I brought my E6000 just in case the glue didn't hold up, but apparently it did. So I didn't even have to reuse it to reseal the one that's chipped. So I need to put some lotion on these ashy fingers of mine. Okay, or She. All right, there we have our complete set of Valentine coasters. Again, I did the images in ChatGPT. I took it into Canva Pro, added some words to it. Like some of these on the hearts, it says his and hers. One says I love you. And then after I did that, I upscaled them in IMG upscaler and then took them into Cricut Design Space and printed them out in Cricut Design Space, all four at one time on 11 by 17. Now, if your printer doesn't allow you to do wide format printing up to 11 by 17, then you're possibly going to have to do two at a time on 8.5 by 11. But if you have a large format or wide format printer that can print up to 11 by 17, you'll just change your settings in Cricut Design Space to accommodate the 11 by 17 tabloid size paper, and you can do all four at one time. Okay, now I did press them at 180 degrees and I did it for 3 minutes instead of 2 minutes. Always use your heat tape so that you can tape it down in place and pull up a little edge just to see if they need more time. And that way you're not just taking up the paper and then you can't put the paper back in the right position and then it ends up looking like it has, you have double vision when you're looking at it because it's not, lined up properly. But 180 Celsius for 3 minutes, let them cool down. And I bought this coaster holder from Amazon. It's like $12. So whenever there's a holiday occasion going on and I put out a set of coasters, I just take out the ones that I had in there and then I replace it with the ones that I'm going to be putting up for that particular holiday time frame. So I'll link where you can get this on Amazon. But I like how you can have all four sitting up there kind of stacked like that. I like that. So that when you take one off, the other one is just sitting right there. And it turns out really nice, guys. And this could even be a nice set that you could give to someone. They don't have to be Valentine's, but since Valentine's is the next big holiday that we have coming, I decided to go ahead and do Valentine's because all of my family is in Atlanta, in Atlanta, Georgia, and they haven't called me yet. So let me see the kids open their gifts and all that good stuff. My shirt is just glistening, baby. Yes, I did this rhinestone on this black shirt, and this is one of my favorite designs. But anywho, that's it, guys. I think I told you everything. The coasters are 3.75 by 3.75, but I set the images in Cricut Design Space at 3.76. That way you have that little bit of overage so that you don't have to get cut off where you might have some white on one side, which doesn't look nice if you don't have white on all four corners. All right, so I did 3.76 by 3.76 in Cricut Design Space using tabloid paper. I'm using A-Sub paper, A-Sub ink, and I use my Epson Workforce 7720. Now the Epson Workforce 7720 has been discontinued, so you cannot purchase that printer, but there's plenty of Epson printers out there. There's also some sublimation ready printers out there, so you can Google it and find the one you like. All right, if you have any questions, guys, chime in the comments and I will answer any questions that you have. But that is it, guys. Sublimation onto coasters. And we saw how to overcome an obstacle, which was the broken coaster. I used E6000 on there and glued it. And then it stood up to the heat press. And then you just put your cork backings on there so that when you're using them, they're not scratching up anything. And yeah, and that's it. All right, guys, that's it. Again, I created these images in ChatGPT. All right. And took them over into Canva Pro, upscaled them in IMG upscaler, and that's my story. I'm sticking to it. And you guys know my motto, right? Is each one reach one so that each one can teach one. And you guys have a very Merry Christmas. Bye.